the Chinese goals was to see how the U.S. would react to this kind of provocation. We're gonna find the truth. It's always so good to see y'all, man. Welcome back. Hopefully you click that like button to help the video out. That would be amazing. And also the subscribe button later on. And do me one more favor too. Go to LFRFamily.com and ask me about the Bang Bang Tea. I did a video here recently about the Chinese spy balloon. Someone told me, they said, why don't you go ahead and find your own information? So I went and started doing my Googles. That's how I find my information. I'm not going down to Congress asking them if I can read something that they have on file so I can find it that way. So I went and did my Googles, and somebody mentioned NPR. It was a young lady who was fussing at me via email about how my walk with the Republicans has made me ridiculous and sullied my views on life. Shout out to you, young lady. She sent me another email, very sweet, very nice. Just let me know, yo, I wasn't trying to disrespect you. I was just, just letting you know how I, based off of my own level of understanding and what I've seen in you, in my opinion, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. But she didn't back up off us. She's an OG. You know what I mean? So shout out to her. I love that when people stand on their what they believe. Stand on what you believe. I'm gonna stand on what I believe too. But with the balloon though, I decided to go ahead and check out some more information because I wanted to see it for myself. So I went and I found an article on NPR. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell y'all what it says. It says this wasn't the first Chinese balloon over the US. Why were the others ignored? Yes. And that's what I want to bring to y'all, because some of you all are going to be upset with me after I'm done with this one right here. I guarantee it, but hopefully you're not, because the whole point of this is to try to figure this thing out. Now, let me get through it. It says, given the hullabaloo, I don't even know what the hell that says, but given the hullabaloo over the Chinese surveillance balloon, you think something like this never happened before, but it has. At least 4 other times in recent years. According to U.S. officials, Chinese balloons crossed over the U.S. at least 3 times during the Trump administration. At least 3 times during the Trump administration. And at least 1 other time earlier in the Biden administration. See, I see that already. Y'all are saying lies, lies, lies. Well, I want to show y'all what happens when people like myself go and do our Googles and we try to figure things out ourselves, because we don't want to just hear someone from Fox tell us what's going on, someone from CNN tell us what's going on, and Candace, Ben, and all these other huge personalities on these YouTube and social media platforms. So this is me trying to go find information, and I'm showing y'all what I found. So let's finish going through it. So, however, the U.S. was not aware of the Chinese incursions at the time. How was they not aware? According to the Air Force General Glenn Van Herk, the head of NORAD and the officer responsible for domestic air threats. All right. He told a news conference that the military only learned of the intrusions after they were pieced together by the intelligence community after they happened. Now y'all already know why I'm really trying to look into this. I'm not wigging out. I'm not trying to get to the bottom of it just for the sake of getting to the bottom of it. I really want to know what they're saying. So shout out to Brent over here. Brent says, so you think they let Trump get away with that with no media attention? The answer to that is hell to the no. Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no. So I don't think that they'll let him get away with it, but this right here is the information I'm receiving. So as the NORAD commander, it's my responsibility to detect threats to North America, Van Herk said. Y'all see, he said that clearly. I will tell you that we did not detect those threats, and that's a domain awareness gap that we have to figure out. The intel community, after the fact, made us aware of those balloons that were previously approaching North America or transited North America, he added. Now, I see someone also wrote, NPR is National Public Radio, exactly, state-sponsored media. I got you on that, but listen, what I'm gonna need for y'all is this, because clearly I'm trying to find the articles. I'm trying to find the people who do all the digging and write up non-biased articles, which I doubt there's anybody out there, but if there is, please send them my way because I want to find it. Because I would read it to you from the news that's sent to me over email through Daily Wire, but Daily Wire is not non-biased. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Daily Wire is not non-biased. Daily Wire supports the side, and they will make sure that they support that side no matter what. Are they extremely intelligent? Absolutely. But are they holding their flag on the Republican side? Absolutely. I want to find something that is extremely objective and fair, which I don't think I will ever find, but let's continue. U.S. officials have not said precisely when or where those balloon incursions took place or how the intelligence community was able to discover them in retrospect. U.S. officials say those incursions were brief, unlike the most recent one, which lasted for a week. Shout out to Angel for bringing that to my attention yesterday, who let me know that that bad boy was in the air for 7 days. Representative Michael Waltz, a Florida Republican, said defense officials identified the locations of the previous balloon incursions when briefing lawmakers over the weekend. The Washington Post reported the locations included Texas, Florida, Hawaii, and Guam. Now, I know that the Washington Post is not very fair news source. I already know that. I know that they're left-leaning from what I understand, but Representative Michael Waltz, a Florida Republican, he said that he knew something about those incursions. So please let me know Wall Street Journal is a good source. Okay, I'm gonna check that as well. No such thing as non-biased. I'm gonna check that as well because I really want to know the daggone truth, man. So Representative Michael Waltz, a Florida Republican, he actually said that he knew of those incursions. Now we're here, the Biden administration and the Pentagon say they've offered to brief senior officials in the Trump administration about the incursions that took place during Donald Trump's time in office. On social media, Trump described the Chinese balloon incursions during his presidency as fake disinformation. Now, that sounds like Trump, though. That does sound like Trump. Now, I would say that too. If it's fake, I would say it's fake. I would say, come on, man, y'all BSing. Y'all trying to put me in another trap. Y'all been doing this the whole time that I put my hat in the daggone the game to run for president, and throughout my 4 years, y'all pooped on my name. Even after I left office, Trump was quiet. He said nothing for like a year. He jumped on to Truth Social. People was waiting to Googling, when is Trump going to come back out with a speech? When is he going to say something? When is he going to do something? Where's Trump? Where's Trump? Where's Trump? Trump got ghosts, man. Trump got ghosts, put up them deuces, and he said, I'm going to let y'all miss me for a little bit. And people still threw dirt on that man's name. But here it is right here. It's talking about that balloon. Okay, let's continue because there's a little bit more to go. So one of Trump's defense secretaries, Mark Esper, told CNN, I don't ever recall somebody coming into my office or reading anything that the Chinese had a surveillance balloon above the United States. As you can clearly see, someone that worked for President Trump, one of Trump's defense secretaries said, nah, ain't nobody ever tell me about any of that. So these are lies. Are they lies? I don't know if they're lies. A more different incident this time. U.S. officials say the Chinese motive remains unclear. The U.S. believes Chinese satellites have already acquired the same or very similar information. So they were up there trying to figure out, snapping pictures. Apparently they crossed over a military base or two or three. I don't know. But while they were up there, they got the information that they needed. And I don't know if that information transferred over to their cloud where they can log it before the balloon was quote unquote destroyed. Okay, China has been using balloons to surveil numerous other countries in recent years, which is somewhat puzzling to U.S. officials. China's massive espionage program is considered first rate. Yet the balloon operation over the U.S. was seen as clumsy and clunky, okay? The Chinese had to know that a large balloon visible to civilians with the naked eye will be detected. that raises the possibility that one of the Chinese goals was to see how the U.S. would react to this kind of provocation. Okay, so they did this on purpose. They wanted to see what we were going to do. So based off of this article now, thank you, Lisa Marie. That's what I'm trying. See, Lisa said this article seems fair. So I'm trying to find some fair information for y'all. When I said in my video that I can't do this for much longer, what I was basically saying was, without there being any truth and me being able to speak it, me being able to seek it, what's the whole point of this? What's the whole point? And if I'm only going to seek the truth from people who are far right, that would let my people, the people who follow my channel, feel vindicated in some type of way by always giving them the information that will please and appease them, then I'm not doing my job. I'm not trying to find anything. The whole point of discovery is null and void at that point. The clear answer is that it sparked a partisan feud, and the U.S. Republicans are attacking President Biden for not shooting down the balloon sooner. Absolutely, I'm attacking for that. While most Democrats are defending the president for taking a cautious, measured approach. Of course, the daggone other Democrats are defending them. What else they going to do? They're going to fuss at them too, make them look bad? No, they got to do that in private. If they do it in public, then their chances when they run in 2024 will be lesser and lesser and lesser. So at the end of the day, I get why they will support him the way that they're supporting him. The episode also ratcheted up U.S.-China tensions and led Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to cancel a trip this week to China, where he planned to meet senior leaders in an effort to reduce friction. Okay, well, they flying damn balloons over the country. Of course, there's going to cause some friction. So shot down off the South Carolina coast. Let's get into it. A U.S. Air Force jet fired a single missile to shoot down the balloon just off the coast of South Carolina on Saturday afternoon. The military said it waited until the balloon was no longer over U.S. territory in order to remove the possibility that falling debris could harm people. I call bullshit. I'm sorry for saying that, but I call bull sugar honey iced tea on that. China, which has claimed this was one of its weather balloons that veered off course, criticized the U.S. response. And again, to China, I call bull sugar honey iced tea. That's what I call. I just think it's all BS. It sounds like everybody's trying to cover their tails to me. In my opinion, that's just me. It seems like everybody's trying to cover their tails. Now, let me read something that Susie says. There has to be discernment in all things. Pray for God to open your mind to truth. There are bad actors on both sides, and it is up to the individual to seek the truth. Thank you so much, Susie. I appreciate that. Whether that was Susie or Chris that said it, thank you so much, because, you know, they're one and the same. They're married, you know what I mean? That's his rib. That's his rib. They one and the same. So this is getting good. So the U.S. use of force is clear overreaction and a serious violation of international practice, China's foreign ministry said in a statement. Why wouldn't he say that if he already claimed that that wasn't a spy balloon, but it was a weather balloon that simply veered off course, like he said up here? So, of course, he's going to back that up with some fake aggression, like they overreacted. They shouldn't have shot down our balloon. Come on, that's BS. I call BS on that. So the U.S. Navy is using unmanned submarines in an attempt to find as much debris as possible, particularly key equipment like sensors and monitoring devices, the Pentagon said. Now, the remnants of the balloon came crashing down about 6 miles offshore in relatively shallow waters around 50 feet deep. The Navy is searching an area that's about 1 square mile. Okay. U.S. officials feel they've already learned some lessons by closely tracking the balloon for a week before shooting it down. What you mean they was closely tracking the balloon for a week? What? You mean to tell me that the U.S. officials admitted to knowing the balloon was up there? They was just closely tracking it. Like, let's see where it goes. Let's follow it. Let's tell it. Like, let's tell it. They had another balloon up there that was just following it behind every single traffic light as it moved up. they will move up and then hide and act like they wasn't following them. Come on, man. So you mean to tell me that you saw the balloon up there? You knew what the balloon was up there doing. You knew it didn't belong to the United States. You knew it was a Chinese balloon, but you just tracked it. You just followed it and tracked it for a week. Something's off with this story. That's the only reason why I keep on looking into it. Something's completely off with this story. TS says, if it's happened before, why isn't there more information on exactly what the balloons are? And that's the part right there. Nobody has that information. That's the reason why I'm looking here trying to find it. This gave us the opportunity to assess what the Chinese were actually doing. What kind of capabilities existed on the balloon? What kind of transmission capabilities existed? Said Van Herk. Okay, how were they able to find out what it was doing? I mean, did they have some type of technology where they can track every single picture that was being taken digitally? Like if something's been taken digitally and transmitted directly to China or to whoever was receiving that information for the Chinese, how would the U.S. be able to track that? All right. So while the U.S. has not divulged details, it did try to electronically jam the Chinese equipment to keep it from transmitting back to China. So we were just now talking about this. Okay, so they did try to jam it. So it would not. They tried to jam it, but they don't know if it did jam. Okay. All right, cool. So we get into something. Security was also increased at sensitive U.S. military sites in an attempt to shield them from the balloon. That's all of it right there. So this was written by Greg Meyer, who is an NPR national security correspondent. I told y'all I am trying to find the truth, and dagnabbit, we gonna find it. We gonna find the truth. God dang it! I promise you that. I promise you that, because I'm not believing half of what I'm seeing. Somebody always said that. They say believe none of what you see, half of what you, none of what you hear, half of what you see. So that's what I'm doing. It's his truth, it's the U.S. truth, it's China's truth, and then it's the actual truth.